Todd Chrisley has officially spoken out on the backlash he received from disliking Julie Chrisley's dark hair after her prison release. Fans were not too happy with Todd after hearing what he thought about his wife's hair. Fans had only ever seen Julie with blonde hair. However, it was dark when she returned from prison, and her husband did not approve. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Julie Chrisley was in prison for 2 years. This means that she could not keep up with her blonde hair while she was locked away. When she was released, fans caught a glimpse of her with her natural brunette appearance. However, her husband was not too fond of the new look. In fact, he was quite rude about it all. "I'm just trying to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, I first saw you when I got out of that car. I started thinking about going back to prison. But then I thought, let me embrace this." While he had never seen her with natural hair, fans did not like that. This is what he had to say about his wife when he first saw her. Julie also thought it was rude and was not too happy. Fans have not been happy about Todd's comment about Julie's hair. He has been receiving a lot of backlash for this. However, he realizes he has been and spoken out on it. He didn't say much more about it. However, fans do not think he regrets what he said, which is disappointing. Julie has been putting Todd in his place more since her return, so she may have chewed him out behind closed doors. It seems as though Todd did not like Julie's natural hair. However, she could not dye it in prison, so there was nothing she could have done about it. Fans did not like that he was rude to her about her appearance after seeing her for the first time in 2 years. Julie even pointed out how it was not nice. However, he realizes that people are not happy about it at all. "What do you think about this? Are you shocked he said this?" Sound off in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts on this situation. Todd Chrisley has always lived in the spotlight, whether through his family's reality television empire, his fiery opinions, or the countless scandals that surround his name. Yet it was not a financial headline or legal twist that set the internet ablaze this time. It was something far more personal, intimate, and surprisingly controversial: his opinion about Julie Chrisley's hair. What seemed like an offhand remark spiraled into a wave of backlash that caught Todd off guard, forcing him to address the situation head-on. A small comment with a big impact. The story began innocently enough. Julie, admired by fans for her timeless Southern grace, debuted a refreshed hairstyle during a family gathering captured on camera. Her softer waves and subtly modernized cut were celebrated online by many, but Todd's reaction was less than enthusiastic. The reality patriarch, known for his sharp tongue, expressed visible disapproval. Though he may have thought his words would be brushed aside as playful banter, viewers did not see it that way. Audiences, already protective of Julie after years of watching her steady patience in the face of Todd's domineering personality, perceived his comments as dismissive. Social media erupted, with fans blasting Todd for tearing down Julie in a moment when she clearly wanted support. The backlash came swiftly, painting Todd as ungrateful and insensitive to his wife's efforts. Fans rally behind Julie. Julie Chrisley's fans have long admired her quiet resilience. Where Todd commands rooms with fiery wit, Julie often grounds the narrative with warmth, humor, and compassion. So when she revealed her updated hairstyle, many believed she was taking a step towards celebrating herself during a challenging chapter of their lives. Supporters praised her boldness, saying she looked radiant, empowered, and youthful. Todd's disapproval landed like a gut punch to viewers who wanted to cheer her on. Across fan forums, hashtags celebrating Julie's hair trended. Viewers posted side-by-side comparisons of her previous looks with her new style, emphasizing how confident she appeared. The outrage wasn't only about hair. It was about what her hairstyle symbolized. To her supporters, this was Julie claiming space in a marriage and narrative often dominated by Todd. His reaction was read as dismissive of her growth. Todd Chrisley's reputation precedes him. Todd's brand has always been about control. Control of his family's finances, control of the household, and even control of the narrative. Fans have grown accustomed to his blunt commentary, sometimes finding it entertaining, sometimes exhausting. Over the years, his critiques of fashion, behavior, and family decisions have become part of his larger-than-life personality. But in this instance, the critique struck a nerve. Why? Because Julie is not just his wife, but also the figure many see as the heart of the Chrisley family. While Todd projects confidence and flair, Julie offers stability. Viewers cherish her subtle strength. When Todd rejected something as personal as her hairstyle, it felt symbolic of the imbalance of power in their relationship. The backlash was, in many ways, a culmination of years of fan frustration with Todd's heavy-handedness. Todd finally responds. The backlash did not fade quickly. Headlines questioned Todd's respect for Julie. Social media commentary labeled him controlling, and lifestyle blogs debated whether his remarks crossed into emotional insensitivity. The criticism built a momentum he could no longer ignore, so Todd decided to speak out. His response was layered: part defense, part clarification, and part performance. He framed his reaction as misunderstood, insisting that his commentary was not meant to belittle but to express honesty. He painted himself as someone who has always spoken his mind, and this was no different. Yet he also attempted to soften the edges, acknowledging that perhaps the delivery was harsher than intended. By addressing the controversy directly, Todd revealed something rarely seen: vulnerability. For once, he was not simply deflecting with sarcasm or burying the moment beneath bravado. Instead, he acknowledged the impact his words carried, especially when directed at someone fans hold so dearly. Deeper look, control, gender, and image. The uproar surrounding Todd's reaction highlights a deeper cultural conversation. Hair, for many women, is not just aesthetic. It is identity, confidence, and autonomy. For Julie, the new style may have been her way of redefining herself after years of stress, scrutiny, and public challenges. For Todd to immediately disapprove struck at the very heart of self-expression. Critics framed Todd's reaction as emblematic of a larger dynamic: men attempting to dictate women's appearances. In an era where autonomy and empowerment are fiercely defended, Todd's commentary appeared outdated. The criticism was not only about his treatment of Julie, but also about what it represented for countless women who have been told their choices aren't good enough. Julie's silent power. Interestingly, Julie herself remained relatively silent about the controversy. That silence spoke volumes. Fans speculated that she may have wanted to avoid adding fuel to the fire, but others believed her silence was a quiet form of defiance. After all, her hair remained unchanged in the weeks that followed. She didn't revert to her old look or attempt to appease Todd. Instead, she carried herself with the same poise, letting her confidence do the talking. Her silence gave fans the impression of strength. Rather than engage in public conflict, she let Todd's words and the subsequent backlash hang in the air. It was a masterclass in allowing actions, and in this case, appearances, to speak louder than words. Public perception of Todd Chrisley has never been universally beloved. His sharp humor, over-the-top personality, and scandals have long divided audiences. But the hair incident shifted something in public perception. Fans began openly questioning whether his critiques had crossed from comedic to cruel. Was Todd's sharpness a sign of wit? Or was it a mask for controlling tendencies? Commentators drew attention to patterns in his behavior. Over the years, viewers recalled instances where Todd dismissed Julie's opinions or minimized her contributions. The hair remark became a symbol, a lightning rod for criticism that had been simmering beneath the surface for years. The backlash becomes entertainment. Ironically, the controversy boosted interest in the Chrisleys once again. Clips of Todd's reaction circulated across TikTok and Instagram, often paired with snarky captions or parody commentary. Memes exaggerated his disapproval, with some jokingly portraying Todd as a hairstyle dictator. Others contrasted Julie's serene confidence with Todd's animated critiques, painting her as the true star of the family narrative. Entertainment outlets capitalized on the drama, publishing polls asking readers to vote on Julie's hairstyle and whether Todd's reaction was justified. Unsurprisingly, Julie won by overwhelming margins, further cementing her as the fan favorite. Todd's attempt at redemption. After addressing the backlash, Todd tried to reclaim his image. He began emphasizing Julie's strengths in interviews, praising her resilience and beauty. Observers noted a subtle shift in his language, less dismissive, more affirming. Whether this change was genuine growth or calculated damage control remains up for debate, but it showed that Todd was paying attention to the criticism.